Oh dear. Look at you. Are you okay? You're caught in the rain like a poor little kitten, and you're drenched. Come on. Don't just stand there. What are you doing out here in the middle of the forest? You're getting drenched. Come. Come with me. Please, I don't mean you any harm. My home is just a few steps away. Don't worry. Come inside before you catch a cold. Alright, watch your step. Here we are. Ah, there you go. Goodness. It started to rain so strongly. I didn't expect that. Well, I guess it's a good thing I found you. Well, there we go. Isn't it better inside? Nice and dry. But you're soaked to the bone. Let me take that wet coat off of you. Alright, there. That's better, right? Oh, you must be feeling cold. Come, sit here. Sit by the fire. It's so much warmer. You don't have to be very cautious. I understand and I respect that you're feeling very cautious around me since you don't know me. And we're in the middle of the forest. But I want you to trust me because you don't really have any other choice but to trust me. So, just, what's the harm? Come on, just sit by the fire. It's either that or catch a cold. It's nice and cozy here. Okay, I'll also get you something warm to drink. I promise it's nothing weird, it's just water. Just warm water, warm tea, if you want me to add a few leaves to it. You know, not many people wander out this way, especially not in weather like this. You're lucky you stumbled upon my little cottage. Yes, this is my cottage. The forest can be a very tricky place, especially when it's pouring like this. And it's not like your usual ordinary forest. It's an enchanted forest. Not many stumble here very often, but don't worry. You're safe here with me. There you go. Something to chase away that chill. It's, I made it myself, a little concoction of mine. It's just a mix of tea leaves, nothing to worry about. I promise. That's better, isn't it? Now, why don't you tell me, what were you doing out there in the forest on such a dreary day? Oh, you were searching for the magical mushrooms. You heard a rumor that it cures all illnesses. Oh, sweetie. Only if it's used right. Do you know how to use them? Oh, and by the way, did you find any? I'd be surprised if you did, to be quite honest. They're not that easy to find. They have this defense mechanism that doesn't allow people to quickly see them. It's a little camouflage. Their spores release a little gas, so to speak, that shrouds their presence and allows a lot of people to miss their presence in the forest. Some have searched for months on end and haven't found any for this reason. So it does come off as a myth to a lot of people since they cannot perceive it or they cannot easily see it. There's obviously a trick to it, of course, but it's not very easy. It's not something an amateur or an unexperienced eye can quickly see. So I'm a little surprised you don't look like someone who is an expert on this. I'm assuming you needed to heal someone. Someone in your family sick? Oh my. Your sister? Well, I'm so sorry to hear that, sweetheart. Is that why you were out here? Even during a storm? I see. Well, the lens people go for their families and friends and loved ones. It's quite endearing. Well, the mushrooms? Well, there are a few tricks to it. That information will cost you. Nothing too steep, of course. I'm just teasing you. I don't know, just keep me company. It's been a while since I've had someone in my home. I don't often approach people too much. I've had my fair share of bad experiences. Ah, yes. Humans. I talk as if I'm not human. Well, I guess you could say you can consider me one. Would you like to guess? Alright, let's hear it. What are some of your thoughts? An enchantress! Oh my, an enchantress! Well, I'm quite flattered. Usually those are a little bit rarer than myself. They're quite charming. Or are you trying to flatter me? I wouldn't say I'm charming enough to be an enchantress, but I'm quite flattered that you think so. A witch. You're quite right. I am a witch, but don't worry. I am not a wicked witch. Despite what some people might believe, witches are not evil. We are just here to protect nature and to study it, to understand it. We believe that being one with nature fulfills a person's purpose, at least for us. It's communing with what's around us and reaching deeper and connecting to it. Anyways, I am rambling. It's just quite frustrating to me when people misunderstand witches. The stigma around it. It's truly frustrating. However, that does keep me away from humans for that reason. Not so bad, honestly. I like being alone. However, it does get lonely at times, let me tell you that. So, I do appreciate your delightful company. And I do apologize if I'm a little bit of a chatterbox. It's not often I get to talk to someone who's very amiable and quite pleasant. And maybe a little charming at that. While the rain is subsiding, why don't I give you a little palm reading? Although I might have to sit a little closer to you, if that's alright with you. It's not like you'll get shy or scared over a witch getting a little close. I like that. You're different. You're not afraid of me. Alright. Let's see here. Give me your hand. give me your hand. Don't be nervous. Alright, let me see. Oh. Are you ticklish on your palms? Sweetheart. I won't harm you. Unless you want me to. I'm teasing. Don't worry, I didn't really take you for a masochist. I think not. Well, that's none of my business, is it? But, you know. Oh, trust me, I've heard so much already. You don't ask a woman her age, darling. Don't ask me how old I am, please. Let me see your palm. Okay, let's start with this hand here. Ooh. See this line over here? Interesting. So. You have such interesting lines. Oh, there's a couple of lines that represent certain parts of your life, such as lifeline, you know, about your vitality, a heart line, and a headline. So it seems here that this is the lifeline, and it's quite strong and deep, which means you have a lot of vitality. You might live for quite a long time. A lot of energy for life. You seem very enthusiastic about the way you approach things. What do you call it? Passionate, determined. But I can see here, if you see these marks, it means that you've been stumbling a lot and questioning yourself. Oh. And I can tell that you maybe have had some, I don't know how to put this lightly, negative thoughts about yourself, and maybe doubting. Maybe you didn't want to be so alive. But I can tell that overall you are a very passionate person deep down inside once you get over these feelings and these thoughts, these obstacles. And if you can see this is how you connect to others. It's how you love. It's how you want to be loved. It's how you feel emotionally, how you connect with others and the world. And I can tell that you have a very sensitive soul. You have a very, very kind heart. You care for others, perhaps maybe even more than your own self sometimes. And you try to accept others. And that's very nice. You connect deeply with others. But you are afraid. You tend to be afraid. Well, who isn't? But I can sense that here it says that you have fears because you've been hurt before. However, despite that, it doesn't stop you. It doesn't change you, who you are deep down inside, that you want to love others, accept others, care for others. And you want to be cared for too. And who doesn't? And I might be able to say that you are a bit of a romantic, it seems. A little bit of a romantic soul. I quite like that. And I want to see your other hand. Might give me more insight. Ah, yes. This line is about your mind. This right here. Oh, this is very interesting. You have a very strong mind. You go through a lot of mental stress, a lot of overthinking perhaps, but you are very intelligent. You may be emotional, as I could tell with your other lines, but you are also quite practical. You have a strong sense of reason, and you care about being fair. You like to think things through quite a bit. However, it seems that your emotions may make you impulsive sometimes, especially when you are feeling very strong emotions romantically. It might make you very impulsive despite being quite a smart person, quite a very logical, practical person. Let me see something. What is this? Can I see your other hand? This is interesting. Oh my. Okay. Can I see? Alright. Oh. Perhaps this was a fated encounter after all. See this little line here? It's a fate line. Not everyone has one, but yours is distinct enough that it's significant. It suggests that you may be someone who is seeking a very strong sense of purpose. You long for a sense of purpose. You are searching deep within yourself for that. You want to exist with purpose. And if I put together, your lifeline and your heart line, I can tell that the connection between that and your fate line seems that you have been going through some heavy emotions. Perhaps you've constantly been hurt over and over because of how sensitive and caring you are, and how you have been perhaps traumatized, that your lifeline here has a little falter, and you question your existence, your life, that you may not feel so much desire in life. But however, with a sense of purpose that you will find along the way, I want you to keep in mind to not give up. You are destined for something special that only you will be able to accomplish. Something unique. You will encounter many things. And it seems here you are destined for something unique that only you will be able to experience and accomplish. And I think maybe this encounter might be the start of it. I mean, it's not every day a witch invites you into her home. Maybe this will be a turning point for you. There. Now you know a little more about yourself, and of course, I ended up knowing so much more about you. Or at least based on what your palm has to say. But remember, darling, the future isn't set in stone. It's what you make of it. And how you feel right now, though you may be full of worries and strife, I know you can get through it. Alright. Oh yes, it does seem that the rain has somewhat died down. Oh, nothing. It's just that it's always a little sad when something ends. Even if it's an unfortunate event. Perhaps the rain. Yes. Wait. You don't have to leave yet. If you stay, I will give you information on how to deal and capture those mushrooms. I say capture because they do also have another skill not many people know. They relocate. Yes, after a week, they relocate themselves in different areas. So, aside from the fact that they can camouflage themselves with the gas that they release from their spores, they can also disappear from their location and relocate every couple days. I'd say a week, most of them. However, some, the bigger ones, relocate every 3 days or so. Here's a technique. I will give you something that will help you. Here we go. All right. Do you see this vial? Yes. You will use this. You will drink this. Don't be afraid. This will only help you see through their spores, through their gas. You'll be able to uncover their camouflage. This will give you the sight to see through camouflages, through mirages, through illusions. Yes. Don't worry. It's for free. I do have one condition. You must come visit me every fortnight. If you cannot accept these conditions, I cannot give this to you. And your sister will die. And also, if you do not hold your end of the bargain, I might cast a curse on you. Fine. I don't mean that. I'm just lonely. Okay. It's not fun being feared by everyone. And it's terrifying for me to go into settlements too often. Just come visit me, maybe, as a thank you for helping you. After all, you're one of the first humans I've met in a decade that isn't afraid of me, even if I told them I was a witch. So, I'd like to help you if you could grace me with your company every now and then. That would be nice. So what do you say? Don't worry. This liquid isn't gonna curse you. It's only, like I said, the only effects it has is to help you see through illusions. It'll give you the sight. Yes. Us witches often have the sight already inborn, or at least it matures and we get it once we're a little older. However, humans don't, but we have found certain ways to enhance our vision through this concoction. It does help us see farther, almost like an eagle's eye, and it also helps us see through other witches' illusions. So it's very powerful, but it's safe for human consumption. Don't you worry. Trust me, okay? Just. Do you trust me? You have no idea how happy that makes me. Okay, take it. And I hope your sister will be saved. By the way, another thing. Please, those mushrooms, don't just chuck them in the pot and boil them. Many have committed that mistake and wonder why the mushrooms don't work. So, even if people found them, people do say it's a myth that they help. However, they are quite mistaken because they missed a step in the process. Unfortunately, despite the lengths that one may have gone through to obtain these mushrooms, if you just chuck them in a pot and boil them, their spores gas just overtakes all their medicinal properties. In fact, they just turn into what you call a psychedelic. They cause hallucinations, fever, and maybe even a seizure, or it may cause a high for some people, and that's about it. When threatened, these mushrooms release their spores even more sporadically, and immense amounts cause them to, lose their medicinal properties, especially when you chuck them in a pot of boiling water. They would obviously think they're in danger and just rapidly release their defensive gas. Anyways, in order to counter this, you must put them in a basket or a bag, whichever you have, and start shaking them. Shake them for about 5 to 10 minutes, especially for the big ones. If you obtain some very large ones, you want to shake them for about 15 to 20 minutes. And this is so that you want to shake out all of the defensive powder spore that they have within them, and that would make them a lot less hallucinogenic. Of course, there may still be a little bit of that effect, but it can be more of a numbing agent, which makes it very, very effective in terms of people who are experiencing a lot of pain when they're sick. It may take 3 to 4 days to cure someone using this mushroom. And of course, they must take it daily or twice a day for about 3 to 4 days. However, I suggest you take it for 7 days because the symptoms might come back even after 3 days. So I'd say take it for 7 days. That is the best. Alright, well, I guess you must be on your way. You have a sick sister to save after all, and time is of the essence. Go. I hope you don't forget this fateful encounter. And our deal, of course. You'll come by, right? Every 2 weeks. Maybe even a month. You know how to find me. If you're really grateful, maybe you can have some tea with me. I appreciate that. Go. You have my blessing. May you be protected from all harm in this forest.